Big Boar Barbecue presents Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV with Dan the Voice Dyker, Billy Doc Niles, and Paul the Statman Riker. Brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem, in La Crosse on 3rd Street downtown and George and Gillette Street. Big Boar Barbecue, now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialist, serving the La Crosse area since 1929. Carey Heating and Air Conditioning.
Hey, race fans, welcome in. Seven Rivers Racing KQEG TV, brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue, along with Billy Doc Niles and Paul the Penguin Reichert. That's where you're supposed to wave, Paul, like Bill just did. I'm radio man Dan Dyker. Thanks for joining us on the show. We're going to show you video highlights from last week's program at the Crosse Speedway and the Tomah Sparta Speedway. 3 guests in the studio: Alex Schott, Bill Schott, and Alex Rud. And I think we're going to be probably talking about one or all three of them in our highlights here this week as we get things started. Double features at the Crosse Speedway last week. We're going to show you feature race number 1, where Brent Kirschner tried to do whatever he could to try to win this race, win this race away from Nick Piniski.
This race, yeah.
And we're going to show you the last 2 laps right here on the monitor. And there was some bumping and banging going on. You're going to see Kirschner get into Piniski off of 4 down the front straightaway. Nick Piniski finally gets his way around, and he's going to take win number 1. And it was an interesting top 3.
Yeah, it was a very interesting top 3 with with Piniski and Kirschner. First of all, you hate to put tags on people, but Kirschner seems to have gotten the Ryan Newman reputation of being a tough one to pass, and he showed that there, but still, not that bad of a showing. A new car at the beginning of the year, all the way to the end of the season. Great strides by them.
Steve Carlson
comes in 3rd. Yep. So
at the end of that race, Steve Carlson's lead over Nick Piniski was 5, heading into the next late model feature.
Actually, it was 13.
13. Yes. 13 it was.
Heading into the next feature. And the second feature here, you'll see the last couple of laps, Matt Henderson breaks out to a nice lead, and Nick Mergic would run him down. Almost a deja vu from the week before when Mergic was leading the second feature and he got run down by Jacob Gady. Role reversal here for Mergic as he finds a way around Henderson. He ends up winning his second, I believe, is his third feature at La Crosse this year. So he's starting to love La Crosse. We need to get this kid here. He could really put a wrench in the points if he came here every week.
For Mergic, 2 feature wins, a fast time in the heat race. Yes. And I told him at the end of the race, I'd love to see him run with us next year.
And Piniski would get 3rd, and that's when he trimmed the lead down to 5 points heading into Oktoberfest.
And as Paul wrote it, the rubber match comes your way at Oktoberfest Thursday night. I can't wait to see what happens there. Sportsman had an interesting night on and off the track in the tip line.
Yes, we had a rash of late yellow flags that made the finish of the race interesting. Sam Niles was leading. Hadn't seen him in the lead since the Frostbuster, actually. And he'd have to the end of flying off the field here in the 3-lap shootout to claim just his 2nd win of the season. I thought he had a few more.
He bookended him.
Yeah.
Now, I told Sam Niles at the beginning of the year, if he won 3 different races this year, he was going to grow a mullet by Oktoberfest because he's got that weird beard that goes over the place and the hair's over the place. Looks like Shaggy.
Shave, kid, shave.
He did win 3 different features, and he did verify with me this week he will have a full-blown mullet by Oktoberfest. Yeah, bet with me and see what happens.
Unreal.
Let's go to the hobby stocks where Caleb Hardy had the race to win in this one here. It was kind of interesting because Andy Moore was in Alex Rud's car. Adam Moore was in Bill Schott's car. They made things interesting themselves out there, and but it was Caleb Hardy who had been DQ'd the week before. He picks up the feature win, and he finds himself 13 behind Jason Bolster heading into Fest.
Hardy out to prove something after last week. He's knocked it down to that 13 points, like you said. Going to be an interesting one come Oktoberfest.
The Thurkus was in town talking Hornets.
Yeah, he had a good jump at the beginning of this one. Now, if you watch the races on KQEG TV either last Sunday or Thursday night, he saw that he couldn't catch Mark Leathy in the heat race. Role reversal here in the feature. Leathy trying to chase down the Thurkus. Not going to happen. Kenan Thurk gets his first feature checkered flag of the year.
Running his brother's Benz car.
Running his brother's car, yes.
To win there. Paul, double spin to win was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it was. The Hornets got to play, and the spinning, especially on the final lap of that, or the final spin actually, was pretty interesting there between Rob Sanfield and Chris Berg. Sanfield somehow just got under Berg there on the final spin to end up claiming the victory in the novelty race.
Chris Berg, he tried to catch him in the last lap, couldn't quite do it.
Saturday night, La Crosse Speedway. It's a special street drags on Saturday night. Next race of La Crosse will be at the end of the month, where we've got the 6- and 4-cylinder 200-lap enduro. Also that night, the minivans will be running with the street stocks. Minivans will be crowning their champion, the first one to be crowned at the La Crosse Speedway. When we come back, we're going to switch gears, head you over to the Tomah Sparta Speedway. Very interesting races going on there. That's next on KQEG TV.
Want to keep your employees happy? Buy them all lunch. Hi, Jerry here at Big Boar Barbecue. We cater lunches all the time for businesses big and small, 10 to 500. We can handle it. Give us a call and we'll help you figure out a great menu. Let's face it, good people are hard to find, so we can help you keep the ones you got. My grandpa used to say, you want to keep someone happy? Feed them barbecue. Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem.
Just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar Barbecue.
And online at BigBoarBBQ.com.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter.
Hey, Dave.
Like giving Jeff his ladder back before he takes it back. Or where to put the food when you both get the groceries. Or the doggy door that just became a raccoony door. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your 2018 American Standard Building a Higher Standard Award winner. Call Carey today for your free estimate.
Welcome back, race fans. Severos Racing KQEG TV, brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue. I really wish I was there instead of sitting next to these guys, because these guys don't have burnt ends.
And we don't like you either. No.
I heard that. Sponsors of the program.
Yeah, of course, Big Boar Barbecue, the title sponsor. We can't thank a whole gang out there at West Salem for being part of the show. Voted once again best barbecue in La Crosse County and best caterer. Carey Heating and Air Conditioning. It's starting to cool off a little bit here, folks, so get that heater checked out before winter. Fansarena.com, the official supplier of our apparel. Right. Epic Media and Vinyls and Bag 40 Wraps doing a great job with our sign, and we could not put this program on without any of their help.
Tomah Sparta Speedway last weekend saw the return of the Flying Finlander Darren Salo. He had engine problems and failures and all kinds of stuff going over the past month. Come to find out, it was a $12 ignition switch. He got it replaced, and what did he do? He went up there and mopped up the field during the modified features. You're going to see the last couple of laps right here. Brad, the Wildman Wilds, spun out in turn 1 and 2. That's going to set things up for a restart, which Darren Salo just was shot out of a cannon. The Sidewinder wasn't going to catch him. Paul Brown wasn't going to catch him. Darren Salo finally gets his way back into the victory lane and get on that victory bell, and it was a $12 ignition part.
Yeah, it's always the cheapest thing that
Matter of fact, he
fails.
won that feature with that part in his front pocket.
Oh my God!
So he's got a new rabbit's foot, and an ignition switch is a new rabbit's foot. Sportsman, one of the biggest fields of sportsmen we've had all year, Paul Reichert.
Yes, it was. Troy Dobrat took the lead early on, but David Borntrigger got around Dobrat, moving to second. Then he started his pursuit of Jake Schiller there, and those two got off in a pretty heated battle there the rest of the way. Schiller ended up claiming the victory over Borntrigger. Borntrigger still leads the points in the sportsman class. David
Borntrigger is on his way to winning the sportsman championship at both Dells Raceway Park and the Tomah Sparta Speedway, kind of reminiscent to Alex Rud, who's going to be on the program today, who's about to nail the Rookie of the Year at 2 different tracks in the same season himself.
And you mentioned sportsman championships. You got to talk about Kevin Noodleman doing that back-to-back 2 years in a row, back in, I believe, the mid to late 90s. So it's an incredible feat.
Hobby stocks are out in full force. Some very familiar names running Friday and Saturday last week.
Brandon Gallagher would shoot to the lead in this one, but it didn't last long. Mike Krieger Jr. gets by him after 4 laps, and then the race is on behind him as Andy Moore and Raymond Hardy making their way through the pack. Moore would get by Gallagher first around lap 9 and try to chase down Krieger. Hardy having a little bit more trouble getting around him, but in the end, Moore trying to chase down Krieger, couldn't do it. Krieger ends up ringing that bell in victory lane.
Out of the Hornets we go. Hornets and mini stocks ran together at the same time. And when it comes to the mini stocks, well, the first one that came out of the chute is NASCAR late model driver Mike Carlson. And man, did he put the field on notice here. He qualified fastest. He won the heat race. and went out there, and even though Paul Fridge tried as mightily as he could, Mike Carlson ends up picking up the feature win. The Hornets were kind of interesting. Jazzy Meyer won her 3rd feature of the year, which could have been her 5th.
Yeah.
Held off last year's track champ, Mr. DeVito, and a newcomer, Mason Morphy. And I tell you what, Jazzy Meyer could win this points championship. 3 wins this year.
Yeah, I think she could pull it off. Just a couple weeks left here.
6 shooters were led. The pole sitter, matter of fact, he's going to be on the program.
Yes, Austin Schott. He led early on. Unfortunately, he fell out with some kind of issue there. But Tim Murphy took over the lead, and just like last week, Murphy got out to a big lead. What did he do it this time? He got caught by Matt Moore the previous week. Unfortunately, no. Dan Fry got him with 3 laps to go, and I'm sorry, Matt Moore got by got by Murphy with 3 to go, and ended up claiming the victory.
So just another one in Moore's coffers, picking up feature wins. Billy Doc Niles, the double spin to win, featured some very interesting names and cars.
Yeah, well, usually when you're doing the chaos events here at Tomah, it's usually for like the 6 cylinders or 4 cylinders. But out comes Brad Wilds in his modified. Out comes Adam Moore in his hobby stock, and it's on between these two. And great race put on by these two. Wilds almost lost this one because he got into the grass, got a little loose, but in the end, gets her all straightened out. Brad Wilds is your chaos winner in the double spin to win.
Coming up, 2 more races at the Tomah Sparta Speedway. The 31st is championship night coming up this week. It's going to be modified sportsman, hobby stocks, Hornets, 6 shooters, mini stocks. The Chaos division is going to crown their champion, but before they do that, they're going to run the second over-the-line wins race. Last time we did that,
Geez, they had 5 wide last time.
5
Yeah,
wide
that was crazy. That
See
was
if that's going to happen again. When we come back, we're going to talk to Bill Schott, Austin Schott, who is the winningest driver at the Tomah Sparta Speedway over the past 5 weeks, and their buddy Alex Rud. A lot of the program still left to go here on KQEG TV.
You want barbecue, but she doesn't? What do? Hi, Jerry here at Big Boar Barbecue. We know not everyone wants barbecue. That's why we feature so much more, like our fried chicken, Philly steak sandwich, meatloaf, great burgers, salads, wraps, and more. So keep feasting the family, stop in and try something from our extensive menu. It's so much cheaper than a divorce. Big Boar and more, Highway 16 West Salem.
Just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar Barbecue.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter.
Hey, Dave.
Like giving Jeff his ladder back before he takes it back. Or where to put the food when you both get the groceries. Or the doggy door that just became a raccoony door. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your 2018 American Standard Building a Higher Standard Award winner. Call Carey today for your free estimate.
Welcome back, race fans. Seminoles Racing, KQEG TV, along with Billy Doc Niles. I'm radio man Dan Dyker. If you listen to the radio show this week, we made Paul the Penguin Reichert run the stairs here in the radio and TV station. It's part of this training program we have going on with the broadcasting partners, and he's still running.
Yeah, well, we got to do it on Saturday nights, to get them interviews, up and down the steps for you and me, back and forth on the quarter mile. So it's about time he had more exercise than just going to get a cheeseburger.
Some other guys getting some exercise in this year at a multitude of racetracks throughout the Midwest, running a 6-cylinder and a hobby stock. That would be father-son, Bill Schott and Austin Schott. Fellas, good to have you in.
Thank you for having us.
You're a first-timer, so Bill's done this, so we're not worried about him. We're going to try to knock the nerves out of this guy. Does it sound strange when I had you on the radio this week that I said you're the most winningest driver at the Tomah Sparta Speedway over the past 5 weeks?
No.
That doesn't, to me, it just sounds odd.
It does. I wish I would have started earlier in the season, but beggars can't be choosers. I was given the opportunity by Dad and Alex to get behind the wheel, so pretty grateful for that.
And now, Bill, you don't go out to Tomah much. He's been on a tear. I mean, he's won 5 straight heat races, and there's got to be a feature in you in the next 2 or 3 weeks at Tomah.
I'm hoping for it. I'm not going to, put something out there and get my hopes up and not be able to accomplish it. If I win a feature, I win a feature. I'm pretty content with the wins I have so far.
Now, we asked you this on the radio show, and I thought you had a pretty good answer to it. Does this give you hope to want to run for a full season for a championship next year?
I'm hoping to not destroy the Grand Am by the end of the year. I have, I scrap during the week, so I pick up Grand Ams almost every day. So it's not the word to have.
Plethora of parts. Like that word right there, huh? Plethora of parts.
I have a whole front end sitting in my yard that I'm putting on the car before, the race is on Friday. So,
Bill, you have been pretty much racing all over the Midwest, between Rockford, the Dells, Tomah and La Crosse, Jefferson. I mean,
and if he hasn't been running it because of his back problems, somebody else has seen the inside of that 2-car this year.
Dan Secor, Adam Moore.
Secor won a feature in that thing, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I think Adam could have, too, if he went to Tried So Hard.
Last week?
Yeah. I'm positive he could have won it. There's somebody else who's been in it. Oh, Al Bartles.
Oh, that's
Steady
right.
Al,
That's right.
yeah.
Al was in there. Oh, that was a couple months ago. That's right.
Might be in it again.
What is it about people wanting to drive your number 2 car?
It's not that they want to drive it. We picked them. It was, I don't know. Al's done a lot for a lot of people. Still does. I don't have to buy a car trailer. I got Al's. So Al's a big help to the sport. That's why he was in the car. Dan Secor was in the car. He pissed me off many years ago on the track. So that's what I wanted in my car, somebody that was like me.
Right. Adam Moore is a given. And we've talked about this many times. Adam Moore's got to be one of the best wheelmen in a hobby/thunderstock in the Midwest.
Hands down, he's one of the best.
And I got to admit, after the Frostbuster, I thought hell froze over last week when I read that on Facebook.
Well, then we did exactly what we wanted to do.
These kids are a crafty bunch, I tell you what. Rockford Speedway, I got to watch you run down there this year. Man, it looked like you and Tom Farr went down there. It looked like you were having a blast.
I loved it. Went down there on my birthday for the first time. Actually, my first time racing there at least. And, yeah, it was fast. Thomas was fast. I want to go. I'm just going to keep going back till I win the feature. I'm not going to give up.
Yeah, no, they don't have a 6-cylinder class, do they? Madison does.
No,
they do.
Rockford does too.
I want, if everything keeps going good with the Grand Am, I want to at least make one race there while he's there.
There's nothing wrong with that, man.
We got that big weekend coming up the end of September.
Short Track Nationals, yeah. You guys eyeing that one?
I'm going to it. I'm going to win there. If I don't win a feature, I'm going to try to win that. And I'm not saying I'm the best, but I can try like everybody else.
Got just a couple of seconds left in the segment. We're going to bring one of your teammates up here in the next segment as well. But we do want to let you guys talk about your sponsors. I had the fortune of DJing their smoker earlier this year, which was a huge.
I think the sponsor list is in the other room with Rud.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna have to wait till the next segment to get all their sponsors.
Samantha, you don't have that one. Samantha was so quick on the radio show.
Yeah, we'll let Alex.
KBR is one of them, of course. KBR Performance.
Reinhardt Foods is a big one.
Reinhardt Foods.
All around. Can't even think of how to say the name, and I work for the guy. All Around Complete Services LLC. He's a contractor out of Illinois. He does snow removal and lawn care, and somehow he found me, and now that's what I do.
And Schott Repair?
No, that's my cousin.
That's his cousin, but I'm saying you want something repaired. I've seen some of the stuff you've done on Facebook before. This guy's pretty handy with his non-race car stuff.
Yeah, we'll get their teammate Alex Rud in here in the last segment, and he can go down the list because he's got the list right in front of him.
He's the brains of the operation.
You heard that right here. Again, this guy has won 5 straight races at the Tomah Sparta Speedway. He's become one to watch each and every weekend out there. Bill Schott is just Bill Schott. You see that 2 show up on a racetrack, and he's one of these guys. People are like, oh, man.
Definitely one of the guys to beat when he pulls in.
We've now been put on alert. I want to thank these guys for coming in. Stay tuned. Their teammate, Alex Rud, is coming up next right here on 7 Rivers Racing.
Want to keep your employees happy? Buy them all lunch. Hi, Jerry here at Big Boar Barbecue. We cater lunches all the time for businesses big and small, 10 to 500. We can handle it. Give us a call and we'll help you figure out a great menu. Let's face it, good people are hard to find, so we can help you keep the ones you got. My grandpa used to say, you want to keep someone happy? Feed them barbecue. Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem.
Just come on down for the the best food in town at Big Boar Barbecue.
And online at BigBoarBBQ.com.
Welcome back, race fans. One more time, Cimarron's Racing, KQEG TV. Billy Doc Niles, myself, Radio Man Dan Dyker. Paul Reichert did pop his head in. The Penguin was feverishly sweating from running the stairway.
Oh, watch. Finally an exercise program for the Penguin. You know, he feels what we feel on a Saturday night now.
All that track food and he tries to keep up with me has really hit him hard, and he's really sweating it out now. So
he's trying to get in shape for Oktoberfest. There'll be a lot of walking at
We're
Oktoberfest.
working hard this year because he's going to actually go campground to campsite with me.
Oh, nobody can keep up with you.
No kidding. Our next guest, we were teasing him in segment number 3. He belongs to Schott Racing, Schott Rud Racing. I had the opportunity to really get to know these guys earlier this year, especially this guy here, DJing his smoker. That would be the number 42 of Alex Rud. How are you, buddy?
I'm good.
Good to have you in the program finally.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Billy Doc, when was the last time? Let's see, we've had the show on the air for almost 10 years now. I've been announcing in the area for 13. When was the last time you heard of a driver that was about to get Rookie of the Year at 2 different racetracks in the same season?
I can't think of anybody that's done that. That's a phenomenal accomplishment. Congratulations on that. A lot of hard work going into that.
Yeah, a lot of hard work. Thank you.
Has it dawned on you yet you're going to get 2 crowns from Tomah and then Lacrosse?
Not quite yet. The season's not quite over, so anything can happen.
Well, if you're 177 up on Geiser at Lacrosse, that's guaranteed.
That's locked.
Yeah.
And you are approximately 40 points up on Lonniewood Jr. at Tomah. That's pretty much a lock. So you only have 2 weeks worth of racing there.
Yeah. Anything can happen in this racing.
I like his attitude.
Actually,
Not done yet.
Your math is bad there, Dyker. I count 25.
25. Still, that's
a little too close.
That's a long way to go. It took you a couple weeks to really understand how to race at Tomah this year.
Yeah, it did. Coming into the season and come to find out, it's one of my favorite tracks around here to race. I mean, I like racing all of them, but Tomah it's my track.
What is it? I mean, we're not taking away anything from Lacrosse whatsoever.
No.
But what is it about Tomah? Because I hear people go back and forth that drive both tracks. What is it about Tomah that excites you to race there?
I don't really know. It's just something about it. It just fits my fancy, I guess.
Now you've come from the smaller, the 4 and 6 cylinders up to the big cars now, and that's a big change to especially on those little tracks, because more power. Got to increase that braking zone. How long did it take you to get used to that stuff?
It took me only a couple weeks to kind of understand it. I mean, I'm still learning like everybody else. I mean, I learn every week, learn when to brake, when to put the gas down. You know,
And like Bill in the last segment, seems like your car has been the town bicycle. You're getting everybody riding that thing. You've got a lot of guest drivers in that thing.
Yeah, and I'm glad to let them drive. You know, it's kind of selfish to just keep it for myself. I like to let other drivers experience what I experienced, and then I learn from them. I let a lot of other experienced drivers drive it, and I get to watch the videos.
I was going to say, Andy Moore was in that hot rod last week.
How much did you learn?
Yeah, I definitely am going to be watching that video for a while now and try to learn what I can from him and bring it to Fest.
Well, Bill had teased on Facebook that someone was going to be in his car, and I thought it was going to be Andy Moore was going to be in Bill's car. Yours was a complete surprise, and both Moore brothers were out there. This is going to be one heck of a feature, and it was.
Yeah, when Bill suggested to me that we were going to do that, I was kind of nervous at first, but I'm like, this could be a good show. Let's let them do it and let them get some lap time in our cars.
What are you looking at traveling-wise here? Obviously, Tomah runs the next 2 weeks. Lacrosse, you guys are off, I think, until Thursday of Oktoberfest. What's your plans for the next month and a half?
We'll be finishing out Tomah because I got to stay in the rookie race. This is 20 points out. You know, anything can happen. We'll be traveling, I would assume, to go to Rockford at least once, possibly Jefferson also. Kind of depends what their schedules look like. I haven't really looked too in-depth yet.
Was that Paul that just came?
That was Paul. He was panting, yes.
Was he panting with the 2 minutes?
Yes, he was.
Some panting. I knew it wasn't Austin Schott.
What's the future look like beyond this? What's 2020 look like for you?
Looking at building a new car for next year, and a new hobby. possibly running some small classes still. I'm not really sure. Nothing's set in stone yet.
You know, if you're building a new one, Austin Schott's looking for a hobby to put in the corner. He said that on the radio show.
Yeah, this one's a little too nice for him, I think.
All right, we got Tyler Stuber, part of the Schott family, was in your Hornet car last weekend, so it was like a big family affair at the Crosse Speedway.
Yep. I enjoy, you know, I have a few cars laying around, and I like to they help me through. They've been helping me through the years, so I like to give back and let them run. And
you know, before we started taping, Bill Schott offered your car to Bill Niles this year.
Well, that was nice of him, wasn't it? We got about a minute left here. Why don't you go through the sponsors that'll help you out in 2019? Not only you, but the whole team.
Yeah, my biggest sponsor is Reinhardt Foods. It is also my employer. But Lysol Construction, all-around complete services, Elsie's Bar and Grill, Joe Rud Trucking, MJ Service and Contracting, Apps Computer, Davies, KBR, and J&L Collectibles.
And he just appeared in a Reinhardt Foods TV commercial about 2 weeks ago, so I was upset they didn't give any speaking lines.
I'm kind of glad they didn't.
That's going to be the finale of the Schott Rud Racing team. There is actually 4 of them. Tyler not here, so we're going to have to get Tyler here in the program here soon enough. But Alex Rud, Bill Schott, and Austin Schott. We've got to give Samantha some props, too. Samantha's standing back here with your cue cards, and I think she did a pretty nice job. Got to work on Austin, though.
Yeah.
Going to do it for the program, folks. Remember to watch us on Facebook. Seven Rivers Racing brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue. Of course, we throw up the shows on there on a weekly basis when Jesse gets them uploaded. For Paul the Penguin Reichert, who's going to go towel down now in a sauna. Billy Doc Niles, myself, Radio Man Dan Dykert. That was a bad visual. We'll see you right here in the airwaves next week on KQEG TV.
You've been watching Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV with Dan the Voice Dykert, Billy Doc Niles, and Paul the Statman Reichert. Brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem, in La Crosse on 3rd Street downtown, and George and Gillette Street. Big Boar Barbecue. Now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialist, serving the La Crosse area since 1929. Carey Heating and Air Conditioning. Thanks for watching Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV.